What's the story, Morning Glory? What is up, Buttercup? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 13, Modern Romance. Let's get started with Cleo and Christian. So it starts off really positive with Cleo and Christian. They are at a costume shop because they're both into cosplay. So they're looking for costumes. I'm not exactly sure why they were looking for costumes, if they're going to be going to a cosplay convention or if they just, I didn't really understand why they were there, but here we are. So they're at this costume shop and they are, trying on different costumes. And when Christian put on his night costume, Cleo really liked it. She thought that he looked, really swell in the night costume. And it was at this point that Christian presents her with a gift. And he opens up a little box, and inside there is a sterling silver necklace. And it has some type of an emblem on it, but I'm not exactly sure what it was. So he says to her that he really wanted to give her something to physically represent his love for her. So she kind of was taken aback when he said that, because she was like, oh, so are you saying that you love me? And he was like, yes, I love you. And so this really took her by surprise, because she's always been questioning exactly what are Christian's true feelings about her. So she accepts the gifts, puts it on her neck, and yeah, you're thinking to yourself, okay, Cleo and Christian, they're making a turn for the better. Things are really positive now, but leave it up to Christian to always mess up a really good moment. So later on, we see them, they're at the grocery store and they're shopping for Thanksgiving dinner. And they're buying the things for Thanksgiving dinner, and then once they're done with that, Cleo says that she has a very long class, and so she's going to be going to class, and then Christian's going to go to spend the rest of the day at a pub. So later on that night, they meet again at Cleo's apartment, and Christian is already very tipsy. He has a glass of wine in his hand. He's already had a few drinks at the pub, so he's very much, feeling himself, feeling really, really good, and you can tell that he's, a little bit inebriated. So he tells her that when he was at the pub, he had met an American girl and he struck up a conversation with her, and they showed us a clip of Christian and this American girl talking at the bar, and he tells Cleo that he invited the American girl to their Thanksgiving dinner. And Cleo nearly choked on her glass of wine, and she was like, what? And he's like, yeah, is that okay? I mean, would you feel better if you met her first before she comes over for Thanksgiving dinner? And Cleo's like, no, no, this is my sanctuary. My home is my sanctuary. I don't just let anybody in here, especially someone that I don't even know. Absolutely not. So in her confessional, Cleo says that Christian always doesn't respect, time and time again, he fails to respect her boundaries. And her being autistic, she says that, she has a very hard time feeling comfortable in unusual situations, or situations that she's not very familiar with. And meeting a stranger is something that would make her have a lot of anxiety and make her feel really uncomfortable. So she doesn't understand why he doesn't get that. Like, why are you constantly shoving these new people in my face? Like the way he did when they were at the pub together at the beginning of the season, and he met the group of girls who were sitting next to them, and he just automatically just like included them into their little personal outing and was forcing Cleo to conversate with them and, putting her in very awkward situations. And once again, he's doing it. And Cleo says that she's noticing a pattern with Christian, that he's meeting these random girls, like at the pub, at the airport, where he meets these random girls. And she says that he feels like he needs to be validated for some reason by these women. And I'm beginning to wonder, does he need to reassure himself that he is still a heterosexual male? Is he constantly striking up these conversations with these random women, meeting these random women, when he's supposed to be working on a relationship with Cleo? Is he doing this because he wants to know if he still has it, that he can still attract, cisgendered women? Like, I don't understand why he's constantly doing this when you are trying to work on a relationship with Cleo. And not only that, but now you've told Cleo that you love her. So she's thinking that this relationship is growing and it's moving forward, and you give her a necklace as a sign of your love. And then that very same day, you're like, yeah, I met this girl at the bar and I'm going to invite her over for Thanksgiving dinner. I hope that's okay with you. Christian is all kinds of confused. I don't know if it's something that he's struggling with in himself. I don't know if he's worried about what others will think of him. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Christian. I am really in the dark with Christian, but I'm not understanding like why you feel this need to bring other people into this, bring other people into your life, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Why you feel this need to meet other women and then bring these other women into Cleo's space. I don't know if you're trying to let her know, I like you, but I don't like you. I like you, but I'm still interested in other people, and I want to keep my options. Oh, I don't know what Christian is doing. If anybody can figure it out, please let me know what your theory is on Christian. I don't know if he's like struggling with his own sexuality. I don't know if he wants to give this appearance that, look, I'm still into cisgendered women, not just trans women. I don't know. The only person that can tell us is Christian, and he's just going to lie to us because he's like, him and the truth don't know each other at all. So I don't know what's going on with Christian. Moving on from that, we have Gino and Jasmine. Okay, the Gino and Jasmine show. Here we go. So Jasmine wants to treat Gino to like a spa day in her apartment. So she's pampering him with a facial and massages and foot rubs, etc., etc. So she asks him, as she's, pampering him, she brings up the whole K1 visa. And she's like, look, I'm not understanding exactly why we're still waiting for this K1 visa. At first, she told me it was going to be 3 months and then 6. And now you're telling me it's going to be 9 months. So why can't you just hire an attorney? Because she really wants him to hire an immigration lawyer to expedite things. Gino doesn't think he needs a lawyer because he was able to get his ex-wife's K1 visa approved completely on his own. So being the cheapskate that he is, he doesn't want to spend any extra money on a lawyer if he can do it himself. So he keeps on, giving her all these excuses about because of the pandemic, everything got pushed back. And she does not want to hear that. She wants him to get this attorney and speed this up. So then she tells him, well, if you're not going to speed up the process and you're going to continue to pay for my high-rise $3,000 a month condo until my K1 visa is approved, because I don't want to have to move again. Moving is so hard. It's so difficult. It takes so much out of me. And I just want to stay here until the visa is approved. So he's like, no, that's not what we're going to do. I'm not going to continue to pay $3,000 a month for you to live in the lap of luxury. You need to find a cheaper place. And so then she starts talking about how you don't want to take care of me. And he goes, Jasmine, all I've done is take care of you. That's all I've ever done is take care of you. And so then she says, but you're spending money on your ex-girlfriends and your ex-wife and, taking them to trips and vacations and buying them this and buying them that. But then when it comes to me, you don't do anything for me. And so he calls her spoiled. He says, you're really spoiled. And so then she gets really upset because she's not getting her way. So then she turns into a 2-year-old. And so she starts crying and she starts yelling and screaming, and she gets up and she takes his clothes and she throws his clothes on the ground and she tells him, I want you out of here now. I want you to leave my apartment now. So then he gets upset, and remember, he completely forgot what the counselor told them, because the therapist had said, when you see her escalating, it is your job to de-escalate the situation. Don't match her energy when she gets like this. Well, that's exactly what he does. He matches her energy. So he gets up, he takes her clothes and he throws them on the floor. So now they're shouting at each other. They're cussing each other out. She locks herself in the bathroom and refuses to come out. She just wants him gone out of there. Later on, she comes out of the bathroom and he's sitting on the couch. She comes and she sits down next to him, and she talks about how she has a lot of anxiety about moving to the US. She's going to be sacrificing so much by leaving Panama, the only place that she's ever known, where she was born and raised. She's going to leave all that behind, her family, her friends, her whole entire life, to go live with him in the US. And so he needs to take that into account, all that she's giving up just for him. And so then we see that, so she's crying really, really, really hard. She puts on a really good performance, and Gino, he stands his ground and he's like, look, you're gonna have to find a cheaper apartment. So then we go to their confessional, and so in their confessional, it was a complete breakdown. So I don't remember exactly how it came about. Whenever they start arguing and when the whole situation just falls apart, it's hard for me to keep up exactly who said what, when, where, and what. So in their confessional, both of their confessional, Jasmine got mad because Gino had put her on the same level of priority as his family. And she says, I should not be the same level of priority as your family. I should be your number one priority and everybody else comes after me. And he was like, well, my family is just as important to me. He says, you'll be number one priority once we get married. And she goes, F getting married. F that. I should be your number one priority right now. So then they start like going back and forth, cussing each other out. He says that his family is important and she needs to understand that his family is important to him. And then she starts bringing up her ex and talking about how her ex has satisfied her better than Gino. You know, whatever. He was better in bed than Gino. And they start cussing each other out. She says that she's going to go back to her ex because he knew how to please her. And he's like, fine, go back to your ex. I don't care. Cussing each other out, calling each other the most horrible, vulgar names imaginable. And she says, and you know what? There's a video of me and Dane together as recently as a month ago. She tells him this. And if she tells him this, she needs to stick with that, because one thing that I don't want to hear Jasmine coming back saying, oh, Gino, I only said that out of anger. No, you said that. Now stick to that and show the damn video. So she leaves wherever they were at, wherever they do their confessional. She's walking out and it was just typical Jasmine and Gino nonsense. Typical. This is what they do. They get into these heated arguments, cuss each other out, say the most vile things to one another. Next thing you know, she's got her head on his chest and he's holding her and they're cuddling and she's apologizing like a baby. I'm sorry, Gino. I'm so sorry, Papi. And he's like, I know, I understand. I forgive you. It's okay, Jasmine. I understand. And then it's all over again. It's like, what is it? Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. That's what it is with these two people. I can't take Gino and Jasmine seriously. I don't pity Jasmine. She uses her tears or emotions as a tool of manipulation to get what she wants, which is to stay in this high-rise condo and have Gino continue to pay for the rent. That's her main goal. That is her mission for right now. I don't know if she's using this man. I don't even know anymore. I don't know if she's using this man just to come to America, if she's using this man just for his money, if she really does have feelings for this man. I don't know why he stays with someone who can be so manipulative with him. You know, the tears and all of that, it's just to manipulate him to get her. Y'all, the Gino and Jasmine story is boring. It's cyclical. I'm sick and tired of it. This is the reason why I did not want them on this season of 90 Days Fiancé Before the 90 Days. I don't want to see these people ever again until Jasmine comes to America. Then I'll be ready again, because with Gino and Jasmine, it's the same story every single time TLC shoves this couple in our face. It's the same exact story. They have these crazy blowout fights over something or another. It doesn't even really matter what, because after all of that, after they expend all that energy nearly killing each other, they're right back in bed cuddling. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgive you. I forgive you too. And it's all over again. So miss me with Gino and Jasmine. Moving on to Riley and Violet. So Riley has 2 days left in Vietnam. He doesn't want to give up on his relationship with Violet, even though he claims she takes no accountability for her wrongdoing. Okay. So they meet up at the market. She wants to introduce something new to him, which is this fruit called durian. And it's all over YouTube, this fruit. So she introduced him to this new fruit and he tasted it. He didn't like it. He was quite disrespectful. He says it was like eating dog feces that is marinated in butter and garlic or something. I mean, he was very disrespectful. And so after eating the durian, they're sitting down at this outside market and he has his nose covered with his towel because he takes his little towel with him everywhere because he sweats profusely in Vietnam. So he has his towel and he's covering his nose because he's saying that the smells of the market are offensive to him and it's making him sick. Once again, being extremely disrespectful. And I don't know if this is his passive aggressive way of getting back at her because she refuses to apologize for sending those text messages to his dad. I don't know why he's being so disrespectful like this. So he's like, I need some some water. I need water. I want some water, because he says that he's feeling sick from all of the smells in this market. So Violet says in her confessional that she does want to spend quality time with him, but he always ends up spoiling the mood, because he referenced the moment. Oh, she references like at the, when they were at the kite place, how he ruined the mood over there. And now him, dealing with the smells and all of that, just acting like a baby. So once again, like, she just wanted to spend quality time with them, and now he's doing this. So then Violet brings up Riley's trust issues. And so she wants to know, after all that we've been through so far, are you beginning to trust me? Riley says, and then she says, you must have been really hurt in your past for you to have these trust issues with me. Somebody must have really hurt you. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Somebody did hurt me. It was my ex. My ex made me feel like I was crazy because I suspected her of cheating on me, because she would be talking on the phone to someone saying, I love you, to this person. And then when I would question her about it, she would deny that the phone call even took place and that it was all in my head and I was imagining things. And so finally he caught her with someone that he knew, hiding in the closet. This guy was hiding in the closet. And so, yeah, he goes, I do have trust issues with women. And, she's kind of like, well, I'm not that. You can't treat all women like your ex. And Riley says, it's not that he says something about how women have to earn his trust. I think that's what he said. He says, I'm willing to trust you. I don't have a problem trusting you, but you have to earn my trust. And he goes, one way that you can earn my trust is to show how sorry you were about contacting my father and texting him all those negative things about me. And so she says, oh, okay, now I understand where you're coming from. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the difference is on how he's saying it now from the way that he said it to you before, 10 other times. He says the same exact thing over and over again, but now something went off in her head. And she's like, oh, now I see where you're coming from now. So then she says, okay, yes, I'm sorry if what I did made you feel bad, or whatever she said, but she finally does apologize. And it's so he's good now. He's good. She's good. Now we're thinking that, okay, we're back on the right track now. She's finally apologized for that one thing, that one little thing he's been wanting her to apologize for him to move forward with her. So now they're on a tour of the city on those double-decker buses, and they're sitting on the top deck. And now Violet says, that Riley is a really good man, and, she really wants them to work on their relationship, and she's happy that now they're getting along. So, okay, fine, wonderful. It's going to end on a good note. Well, okay, I was wrong. So Violet asks if he still has any insecurities, and Riley says he does have insecurities. He says that he even thought about hiring a private investigator to investigate her. To investigate her past, etc. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, why? I mean, I know you're going to have to tell her, because she's going to find out anyway, because it was on tape, it was on video, you contacting this private investigator to investigate her. But why did you have to bring it up at this particular moment? But anyways, he did. So okay, here we go. Riley ruining the mood again. And so now Violet is like mad. Okay, she's not playing games anymore. She is really upset. And she says, you can't do that in Vietnam. You can't investigate people. And Riley goes, well, that's what we do all the time in America. We do? That's what we do all the time in America. We hire private investigators to investigate people that we want to potentially date. We hire private investigators. And I understand Googling people and doing your own research on people, but hiring private that's what we do every day, all day. That's just part of our culture, part of our norm, is to hire PIs to investigate people that we meet on Tinder. So Violet says, well, that's not what we do over here. And she's like, I can't believe that you would do that to me. That's wrong. And he goes, but the point is, Violet, he says, but the point is, I'm not doing that. I was going to do that, but I didn't. So he wants brownie points because he decided not to go through with it. That's supposed to completely wipe out the violation she felt, knowing that he intended to do that. That was his intention. He went as far as to consult with one. So she's like, I don't care that you didn't end up doing it. The fact that you wanted to do that and that you could have done that, that's what's pissing me off. So now she's mad. She goes, don't talk to me anymore. She doesn't even want to sit next to him. She gets up and she stands for the rest of the tour with her back towards him because she's through with him. She's absolutely through with him. Good job, Riley, for sabotaging your relationship for the 15th time on this trip. Good job. Y'all, Riley and Violet, that's a no-go for me. That relationship is an absolute no-go. I don't see it happening. They have too many issues, too many trust issues. Yeah. The funny thing is, they don't trust each other. She doesn't trust him, and he doesn't trust her. I think that she's kind of like, in a way, conning him a little bit. I still kind of think that. Yeah, let's move on to Nicola and Misha. Riley and Violet, that's a no-go. So Nicola and Misha. So remember last week, Misha and Nicola, they're at Nicola's mother's home, and he introduces her to his mother, introduces her to his brothers. And now Misha's waiting for Nicola to let the family know exactly who she is and what's really been going on between them, to let them know that they've been dating or doing this long distance dating for the past 7 years or something, and that they plan on getting married and moving to America. And Nicola acts like the cat got his damn tongue, because he's like, no, you speak. My brothers understand English. You tell them. And so then Misha explains to the brothers that they've been dating for 7 years, and the brothers are like, there's no way y'all been together for 7 years. You've been hiding this full-grown woman from us for 7 years, Nicola. And so they kind of find it hard to believe that he did such a good job in hiding this relationship from them. So then Misha says, can you please explain it to your mother? And so they explain it to the mom, and everybody's on pins and needles thinking that the mother is going to be like really upset that he's been carrying on like this, because Nicola has made it seem like his mom would be so angry once she found out that they've been seeing each other, that they've been dating, that his mom is not going to accept it at all. So they tell the mom, and the mom was like, oh my God, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you. He's like, yeah, because the mother says, because, you're so old. You're so old and you're single. I'm so happy. Yes, this is a good thing that you finally found a woman and you're getting married. This is the happiest day of my life. Now I can die in peace knowing that Nicola has found a woman. So that went well. And so then they're thinking, okay, well, once mom finds out that Misha is divorced and has children, now she's really going to take a turn and she's not going to like it. So they explained that to the mom as well. And the mom was like, that's wonderful. That's fine. I'm not going to sit here and judge you. The mom's like, okay, what's the big deal? So she was married before and she's got kids. So what? She's a divorced woman with children. So what? Nicola finally found a woman. I don't care. I don't think that the mother would care if Misha was like an online escort. I don't think she would have cared if she had 10 ex-husbands. I don't think the fact that this is a woman and he's found one and he's going to be getting married as old as he is, the mom does not give a damn what type of woman she is. Doesn't care. So, yeah, it went fine. It went great. They had no problem with her past. And even the brothers were like, yeah, we're not here to judge. We're true Christians. We're not going to sit here and judge her. So later on, Nicola takes Misha to his childhood city. They find a small restaurant and they go into the restaurant for lunch or whatever. And then Misha says to him, she's like, you were really building this up like it was going to be really disastrous, that they were not going to like me. Your mom was going to hate me. They weren't going to approve of us being together, but it was the exact opposite. So I'm beginning to think that the person with the issue of my past is you, not your family. I think you're the one that has a problem with me being a divorced woman with 2 kids. And he's like, no, Misha. No, don't think that. No, that's not it, Misha. No, Misha. And so she's like, oh, okay, because that's what it seems like to me, because you're family and you know your family better than I know them. So you should have known that they really wouldn't have a problem with this. And so now in his confessional, Nicola's like, for Misha to be asking me this, I'm beginning to wonder if she still wants to marry me. No, the question is, do you still want to marry her? We know Misha's all in. Do you still want to marry her, Nicola? Don't project your insecurities about your relationship on her. She's the one that's sure. Are you? That's the question. Don't be playing us, Nicola. Moving on from there, we have David and Sheila. So David is going to, no, okay, so their little segment starts off with him venturing out into the city alone because he wants to buy a ring for Sheila. And so the way he talks about, you know, how because he's deaf, nobody's going to understand him. He's worried about people ignoring him. How is he going to communicate? You know, the way he was talking about it, Lord, it was giving me anxiety. Like, I was feeling scared for him. Like, is he going to make it? Is he going to get lost? He's gonna know where to go. Are people gonna help him? Oh my God. So he ends up going into the city. He found the jewelry place fine. Somebody directed him to where the jewelry store was. He picked out his ring and everything was fine. I was like, damn, David, why you got my anxiety all up for nothing? So he plans to propose if he can find the right time, because with her mom passing away, he's really unsure on how this is all going to work out because she's still in the grieving process. So, and also her son doesn't want to come to the US. So he plans a romantic getaway for just the two of them alone. And Sheila confirms that the interpreter, Amy, will not be attending because she says she still feels really jealous. I think that her insecurity with Amy, the interpreter, is not because she thinks David is going to run away with her. I think she just feels a little bit jealous that she can communicate a whole lot better with David than she can. And your girl Amy, in her own little confessional, she was like, you know, Sheila should have been knowing American Sign Language by now. You know, while she was waiting for David to come to the Philippines, she should have been taking lessons and online classes or learning it on her own or something. So she feels kind of bad that she didn't take the initiative to learn the American Sign Language before he showed up. So anyway, they go to the little hotel getaway, and it's a nice hotel. David says in his confessional that he's going to have to work a lot of hours to pay for this hotel. So in the room, David tells her that he doesn't want to use the phones anymore to interpret. He wants them to start communicating with sign language. He says because it's hard for them to connect on a really deeper level with the texting on the phone. It's just not doing it. It's not conveying the feelings that need to be conveyed. And so he would rather them talk through sign language. Now, her American Sign Language is not that great. So she basically has to spell out every word. And so she's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, we'll do the sign language. So they're trying to, so he's trying to teach her and they're trying to communicate with sign language. But baby, your girl Sheila knows how to get herself out of a sticky situation because she realized that the signing was not going that well. Okay, because she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know American Sign Language. So she knows, okay, to get myself out of this, let me get him into something else that he's gonna like even more. So she goes, don't you feel like you want to take a shower? Do you want to take a shower? You want to take a shower? And so David is like, yeah, together at the same time, yeah. And so, yeah, he forgets about the sign language and he wants to dive right into the body language of him and Sheila. So, yeah, they go off and do their thing and they forgot about teaching her ASL. Moving on to Rasvin and Amanda. So Rasvin and Amanda are having a very serious, deep conversation about where this relationship is going. These people are so draining. Rasvin and Amanda are so draining. Okay, so they're having a really deep conversation because, you know, she said this whole thing about, you know, she told him how she's kind of is having second thoughts about him coming to America because she doesn't want to have to take care of him while he pursues his dreams of being an actor. She's like, you are going to have to like work. I can't be taking care of you while you're waiting for your big opportunity to strike. I don't want to be taking care of you. You need to be willing to do whatever, you know, be a janitor or work at McDonald's or do something while you're waiting for your opportunity to come. And he's like, I'm not going to give up on my dream because his ex-wife really wasn't crazy about him pursuing this dream in entertainment. So he's like, I don't want to give up on my dream in being an actor. I'm not going to give that up. I'm always going to pursue that, but I don't need you to take care of me. If you think that I'm going to be living off of you and having you take care of me, well, think again, because I don't ask money from nobody. I don't ask for anything from anybody. I take care of myself. So then, you know, he was upset that she was comparing him to her deceased husband, Jason, because Jason was a provider. Jason did whatever he needed to do to take care of his family. You know, Jason wasn't too proud to take on any kind of job to provide for his family. And so he doesn't like to be compared to Jason all the time. And so he feels like maybe her bringing up Jason all the time is just an excuse to not really be with them. Like, she's just having second thoughts about being with him. So then later on, they're driving back to Bucharest, I think. And so Amanda realizes that she shouldn't compare Razvan to Jason. Amanda says that she still wants to be with Razvan. Razvan's not sure. He's not so sure. Well, he acts like he's not sure if he wants to be in a relationship with Amanda. We all know that he ain't going nowhere. If Amanda wants to be with him, Razvan is game, because Razvan wants to come to America. So Amanda says that she still is down to meeting his parents. She doesn't want them to change their plans about that. And so Razvan says in his confessional that some of the things that Amanda had said, she can't take back, and he just can't erase it from his mind. For example, when she said that they didn't have the same morals, and then when she said that he's not even half the man that Jason was. So those statements were made, they were put out there into the universe, and he will never forget that she said that. So Amanda wants Razvan to just kind of like snap out of this funk. Let's get back to normal. You know, I want you to get back to loving on me and showing me affection. And so she's tired of him being in this funk. But girl, you put him in this funk. So he's going to take however long he needs to take to get out of it. You put him in this situation with the things that you said. So she says that, you know, she loves them. She wants to be with them. She wants to work it out. I think that Amanda will always compare Razvan or whatever man whoever man she's with, she's always going to compare them to Jason. Because Jason died so young and so unexpectedly, I think his perfections are like frozen in time, that she focuses more on the good things about him, what made him so perfect, more than his faults or shortcomings. And I think it's only natural for her to always compare someone, her current situation, with Jason. I don't know if it's right. I don't know what it is, but I think that that's what she's always going to do. She's always going to compare. He's going to be the measuring stick of all her future men. So she needs therapy. The girl needs to go to therapy. She needs therapy to figure out her feelings, to let go of Jason, and to focus on her future and her present. She needs to go to therapy. I don't think she can deal with this type of grief, you know, by herself. She thinks she can handle it, but I don't think she can. I think that Razvan and Amanda should probably just go their separate ways, because she has a lot to deal with. And even if she acts like right now she's ready to move forward with Razvan, once she goes home and sees the urn and sees her children and starts, you know, having all of these, and sees the pictures of Jason everywhere, she's going to be right back to being unsure of her relationship with Razvan. So Razvan, unless you want to be compared to a dead man for the rest of your relationship with Amanda, you might need to reconsider this relationship pronto. And that's it, y'all. That's all she wrote. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.